Chieftain News here with the Chieftain News Intel briefing at 7:35 p.m. May 28th, 2021. Guys, this is going to be one serious intel briefing. I've got to tell you, this is going to be one serious intel briefing. What I have heard in the last 24 hours and the last 72 hours combined is jaw dropping. Let me just put it that away. And it's hard to drop my jaw, but it last night was a big wow. Okay, so let's get to it, guys. I'll save my commentary for the end, and I think that's probably best to give you some ideas about what the totality of what's going on, and you know, my thought process on that. So anyway, I learned that out of 180 some odd countries or whatever in the world, that 48 of the countries are facing food shortages worldwide. And this is due to years of failed crops, political conflict, and also weather uncertainty, according to the farmers. So there's more to it than that. A lot of these countries, these 48 countries, are seeing hyperinflation or devalue of their currency like they've never seen before, and they're trying to scratch their heads as to why. Of the 48 nations, food rationing has begun. It has started, from what I'm hearing in the intel report. So the food rationing in those countries has started. They're trying to make what they have last as long as they can because of what little they have coming in, and that's sad. Reports even as close as Indiana here in the United States that there's no dairy products. There's dairy product shortages and beef shortages in some places in the United States, and there's no milk in some rural areas. Believe it or not, there is no milk being reported in certain areas. So. All right, so let's move into another category here. Let's move into the category of the cosmos and, I guess, us in the solar system, the third rock from the sun, so to speak. Over the period of 5 years or so, 6 years or so, we've been hearing about these the waves of energy that were coming from a destroyed solar system and a sun that was eaten a long time ago. You know, before we were all around on this third rock from the sun, that a black hole ate a sun, a very big sun. And as the sun collapsed and was broken up into chunks and devoured by the black hole, there was these gigantic explosions. These gigantic explosions went across the Milky Way and have been headed our way, like I said, way before we even became into existence. And now they're hitting our solar system. They're magnetic, and which means they're gravitational effective. So these magnetic waves of energy that are hitting us, they have energy in them, and they have an effect on gravity, and they have an effect on other things as well. The sun acted up here. It sent 12 solar flares at one time like a machine gun fire, and we were grazed by it, fortunately, here recently within the last 5 days or so, and there was a limited satellite interreaction or interruption, whatever you want to call it there, and that was taken care of, and it seems to be it going bye-bye, the effects of it. But the heating and radiation that it put into our atmosphere is still there, and that radiation is going to make its way into our Earth somehow. It's going to find its way into our Earth, and also we're being radiated. If you didn't know, our pilots and frequent flyers that are going up to 36,000 feet, 38,000 feet, thereabouts, they're being warned of heavy radiation warnings, exposure. So they're having to keep a count there, keep that in mind, and that's been happening for a few years now, by the way. But now more so because our atmosphere is being heavily radiated, and it is heavily filling into our high atmosphere, and it's working its way down into our Earth, which is causing our Earth to heat up and swell, which is causing Earth changes. It's also causing volcanic events, earthquakes, and other things that we have coming in the near future. Along with that, we're going to have some other anomalies happen here on the Earth that soon will not be able to be explained away by the news as a common occurrence. It seems like when we see something we've never seen before, weather-wise, that the meteorologists have a way of saying, oh, well, that's what they call a cyclone bomb, or that's what they call a whatever, who's it, It just seems like they have a name for it already and that it's occurred already before, even though those of us who've been around for a little bit have never heard of that kind of stuff. We're also going to see celestial objects here pretty soon that can't be explained away by the news. They're going to have to start disclosure. They're going to have to start to let us know what's going on here, and the cover-up is no longer going to be able to work any longer. They're going to have to start to talk about our second sun here more and more very shortly. Very shortly. We're like on a few-month scale territory here, to where throughout the rest of this year that they're going to have to start to explain about the second sun that belongs to our solar system. If you go back and do your research, you'll find out that it's more likely we have a second sun than we don't. Tons of solar systems out there don't have just one sun, guys and gals. They have more than one. In some cases, they have three. It's rare, but some solar systems have three suns. The commonality of a bi-solar system, a bi-sun solar system, is more common than having just one sun. So, you've heard about the mysterious Planet X. You've heard about the other stuff that's going on with another sun coming into our solar system. I'm sorry to say that it looks like that's more than likely true, and is true, than not. So you're going to see about it here pretty soon. It's going to become mistakenly clear, or obviously clear, I mean to say, that we have a second sun. And they're going to have to start explaining, because of the happenings that are going to be happening, and the magnetic gravitational influence that it has on our Earth is causing a double wobble. The sun causing the one wobble that we normally have, and as this second sun gets closer to us, it's having a second effect on our Earth, which is causing a double wobble, which is causing also gravitational differences on our Earth, which is causing our atmosphere to lower, which is causing denser weather systems. It's causing more floods, tornadoes, and extreme lightning. Also, it's causing, unfortunately, large, massive hail. We had some events of that here happen. The world record was broken here. In the last few days, we've had basketball-sized hail falling up northern United States. It was, I believe, 12.5 pounds. It's a world record in hail, recorded hailstones. That stuff might have fallen before, but now it's recorded because they documented it. So it gets worse. I wish I could say this gets better, and that's all I got, but it gets a lot worse, guys and gals. It gets a lot worse. So not only is the media going to have to start talking about our second sun and start soft disclosure about that's what's going on with that, but there's been something going on with our ocean floors and our ocean surface temperatures here for quite some time over the last few months that they have been trying to hide. What's going to become painfully obvious here very soon. They're not going to be able to hide it any longer because of what's going to start taking place. According to the scientists and according to the intel reports from I heard here last night and the night before, the ocean floors are starting to magnetize, and while the sun's activity is increasing, these solar flares and stuff that just kicked off, and stuff like that. There's 12 solar flares that came at one time. This is not a normal event. We haven't seen that kind of stuff in a long time in recorded history, if even ever, to that magnitude. Thank goodness we didn't get a direct hit. But, again, the ocean floors are going to start they are magnetizing right now as we speak. And the sun's going to increase. As the sun increases its activity, the ocean floors will start to magnetize even more. Other thing that, here we go. Here comes the proof in the pudding, guys. The intel reports are starting to come in now, something that I've been listening to for quite some time. Well over 2 decades, guys. Is that I've been hearing about something coming up from the south. Pay attention, guys and gals. Pay attention. Here it comes. Okay? Soon you're going to start to see a different star in the southern sky. There are people in the southern hemisphere are going to start to see it. Okay? It's going to have a tail on it. And this tail is going to be pointed down towards the South Pole. But we're going to start to see it here very soon. and it's not going to be able to be explained away. This is why I'm telling you that the second sun from the media is going to have to start to be disclosed. They're connected. These stories are connected on that path. Remember, the Southern Hemisphere is going to start to see a star. The people in South America, Australia, and other places in the Southern Hemisphere are going to start to see a new star in the heavens with a tail that points down, south. I hope you just took that in. I hope you just sucked that up. Like a sponge, do your homework. Start doing some research. Start digging and looking at what's going on. All right, the effects of what's coming. Because of magnetic things, magnetic waves that are hitting us and causing gravitational interference, also causing much more interference than it's above my pay grade. It's above my IQ. But the people that are reporting this stuff from the Intel group, they got this from the folks with the high IQ. Pretty soon we're going to start to see you're going to hear reports of the oceans that are getting so hot they're going to start to boil. They're going to start to cook off. The salt water is going to start to cook off, causing heavy moisture in the atmosphere. This is going to be a huge problem. It's going to magnify the weather on the Earth's surface. You hear me? It's going to magnify the weather on the Earth's surface. Soon here, I'm saying within a couple of months, you're going to start to hear of ships and shipping lanes. It's going to change because there are going to be places that they are not going to be allowed to go because of what's going on with the oceans. Not only is this ocean floor is magnetizing, but the ocean water itself is going to get so hot that it is going to cook off the salt water, and it's going to steam off into the atmosphere and cause heavy weather problems. It's going to be dangerous. Point blank. Once the oceans start to cook off, one thing that comes with that is it's going to cook off the sea life, guys. Massive amounts of the sea life is going to get cooked off from the very bottom of the ocean all the way to the top. And you're going to have a lot of cooked fish sitting in the salt water. You're going to hear reports of collection, probably, I'm guessing. And you're going to hear reports of it being packaged and probably sold to feed whoever. So, I know it sounds crazy, guys. I know it sounds crazy. Hang in there with me. Hang in there with me. This is a really rough intel briefing that I've had to give. There's nothing good in this intel briefing. It's just a preparedness. It is a brace yourself for what's coming, okay? All right, so the cook-off of the ocean is going to cause the wildlife, the sea life, to be cooked in the ocean because of their heating. It's going to start in about a month. By 2 months in, you're going to hear the problem is there. All right, so even worse, guys. If that wasn't a bad enough problem with all the oceans around the world, specifically one of the oceans, the Pacific Ocean, has something waking up that I knew about but never thought that it would be a problem, but it is. A volcano that is in the Pacific Ocean is waking up. Unfortunately, it is. The problem with this volcano, and I'm serious about this, you can do your research and everything I'm saying, and when you look it up, you're going to find it. Unfortunately, you're going to find what I'm talking about on every bullet point that I'm hitting here tonight. You look it up, you're going to find it. It's there. Like I said, the intel groups that are releasing the information to me, it is not anything top secret, classified, or confidential, or anything of that nature. It is open to the public. It's just the public is so busy looking at the Democrats and the Republicans in countries, or the Democratic or the country that they live in, or all the other banter that's going on, all the other problems with humans that are going on. They're missing what's really going on. And it's kind of being designed that way. I'm telling you right now. This is all being kind of worked on. It's a project. This is somebody's project, unfortunately. All right, getting back to the volcano. The volcano in the Pacific Ocean, and this is no joke, guys. Look it up. It is the largest volcano in the solar system. Out of all the planets in the sun that we have here in the solar system that we are dwelling in, the third rock from the sun, this is the biggest volcano in the solar system, and it exists in the Pacific Ocean, and it is waking up. And it is not small by any means. It is very big. It is huge. You can fit literally 175 Yellowstones in this volcano. 175 Yellowstones in this Pacific Ocean volcano that's under the water. And it is waking up. This volcano has the ability not really to put ash up in the sky, guys. It doesn't, because it's under the water. Of course, the filter of the water would filter it. But if it got active and started to emit, not expose, but if it started to expel gases from the earth, it would be a dark smoke rising that would cover the planet if it started to become active to a point where it was erupting and to a certain point at the bottom of the ocean and expelling out of the surface waters. Of course, heating the ocean to a ridiculous heat. I mean, the heat, we got to realize that lava, that's melted rock. That's very hot. Okay? So just imagine that this volcano became active to the point where it started to heat up the ocean and started to emit the gases that it can push out, filtered through the water. It would emit a black smoke that could cover the planet. That is what my intel sources told me last night. Guys, I walked away from this intel briefing last night with bulging eyes. Jaw-dropping situation. I was like, I didn't think it could get worse, but it just did. So 175 Yellowstones will fit into this volcano that's in the Pacific Ocean. If you're asking where is it at, look it up. I will tell you right now that it's between the United States and Russia, probably in the northern part of the Pacific. Just give it a look. You'll find it. Not hard to find, guys. Not hard to find. Just look up the largest volcano in the solar system and you'll find it. It'll show you where it's at. It's on Earth. Anyway, moving on. Because of what's going on, and I'm reporting to you, other after effects are coming. There's going to start to be news about water levels dropping all over the place on the planet. Okay? That's due to increasing heat, guys. That's due to increasing heat. Again, let me remind you that the Earth is absorbing massive amounts of radiation that are coming from the sun and other things that are moving around out there, and is affecting our Earth and heating up our Earth's atmosphere. Our Earth's planet itself is swelling. The Earth is swelling because it's absorbing massive amounts of radiation. And we are also, as human beings and animals out here on the Earth's surface, are absorbing radiation. Okay? It's happening. Look it up. Again, it's all the stuff that I'm telling you, you can look it up. You're going to find it. It's there. We're getting an overabundance of rain right now. Moving on to another bullet point. And it's good. And I'm telling you, it's good. We need rain. We need rain. We need rain. Even during droughts, we need rain. Right? We need rain. But unfortunately, there's going to come a point something weird is going to happen. A global drought is going to begin very soon. The polar caps are going to melt off. They're already starting to, by the way, at a dramatic, rapid pace. Scientists were saying it would take thousands of years or hundreds of years. It's happening within months, guys. The polar caps, the South Pole and the North Pole, are melting off. Okay? There's a problem with this. There's a huge problem with this. This water that's frozen up there is condensed in the North Pole and the South Pole down south. This water, once it starts to expand and melt, which the bottom of icebergs, the bottom of the ice caps, is what's been melting from what I'm hearing. And then all of a sudden it gets too thin, and all of a sudden, guess what? A large chunk of the ice cap breaks off and floats off somewhere. That's what's been going on. But we have another problem with that. Okay, and the problem with that is the coastal waters of every city around the world. As the oceans start to resupply themselves with the seawater from the North and South Pole polar caps that are melting off currently right now at a very high rate, I might add. Very high rate. This is not going to take years. This isn't going to be thousands of years. This is happening very quickly, guys. We're talking months, okay? The sea level waters are going to rise, of course, of course. But if that wasn't bad enough, here's a compounding problem with that. The second sun that's going to start to appear, the new star in the sky that's going to start to appear in the south hemisphere, southern hemisphere, to be specific, okay? For those of you who are Navy, for those of you who have traveled and traversed the earth, you're going to know something about what I'm fixing to say. Anybody who's traveled from between the north and south hemispheres of our planet knows this, that because of the moon swinging around the earth, there is a collection of water. There is a fat band. The earth wears a belt. It wears a belt of water, seawater around it. So the moon, as it goes around the earth, there is a 300-foot tall swell of water around the equator of our earth. If you didn't know this, look it up. It's easy to find on the internet. It exists. You can't generally see it, but as you go from the northern part of the hemisphere or southern part of the hemisphere and you cross over, you will realize that you just crossed from the south hemisphere to north hemisphere, but you don't realize that you just went over a 300-foot water wall. You have no idea that you did that because it doesn't appear. It doesn't look or appear that way. It's just there. Well, with the effects of a second sun, the effects of other things affecting us, and the double wobble that we're doing, that 300-foot swell on the equator is about to divide and collapse. Again, think about the 300-foot wall of water all the way around the earth collapsing. Okay? Yes, the occurrence of high sea level waters in coastal towns will be affected. Yes, to answer your question. Yes. Unfortunately, that is the effect. Beaches will disappear. Cities will be underwater. That's not a good story. I'm sorry to give you that information. But this is the intel that I'm getting, and I'm passing it on to you. Okay? All right, guys. I'm winding down. We're at 22 minutes and 39 seconds, and I'm winding down here. And I'm getting to the backside of everything, and I'm getting to my commentary. So, now we know the rain's going to stop. We know that there's going to be a double whammy with the 300-foot wall of water, gravitational effect that's going to cause it to collapse. Beaches could disappear. Sea levels are going to rise, but it's not going to rain. We get that. It's coming. It's coming. We get that. The Earth is getting hit by multiple radiation events that's absorbing into our upper atmosphere and being transferred down into our Earth, heating up our Earth's core, which is going to cause the Earth to swell, which it is currently, and you're going to have volcanoes going off, such as in Italy. 2 volcanoes went off into Italy. Look at that. Iceland. Iceland's having a lot of volcanic activity right now. Africa. A lot of volcanic activity right now, sending people fleeing for their lives. People died in Africa here recently because of volcanoes, just so you know. It's sad. Sad, sad deal. All right, so these events are happening, guys. This is current events. And the predictions that are coming from these current events, where we're going from here. That's what I'm giving you tonight. It's important to me. I'm a watchman on the wall. So it's important to me. So there's going to be events that are, you'll see the sea is there. There's the beach. There's the sea. There's everything's good. And all of a sudden, you're gonna go to bed. You're gonna wake up one morning, and the water will have taken up the whole beach and some of the city, and it's gonna be there. It's just gonna be there. That's what's up. So. I found something else strange last night from the intel world that was it was so easy to believe. And that is weird. But this is what I found out. GMO foods, we thought were actually built to resist against pests, bugs, things that would heavily affect crops. Well, I found something out last night from the intel groups, and I have a good, strong belief in these intel groups that I'm getting. The sources that I have are really good. They're really good sources, guys. Okay, so the GMO foods reported from the intel sources that these GMO foods were literally created in the first place. Not the side benefit was that the bugs are going to have a hard time with these new plants that have been genetically modified. The reason that the pests are going to have a hard time with these genetically modified foods that were growing out of the ground is because they have been built originally to withstand high amounts of irradiation. So they cellularly don't break down very easily, which made it a tough plant, which made it the normal visitors who munch on plants are going to have a hard time with that. Saying this plant's, I'm going to go look for another plant. This one's kind of hard to chew on. It doesn't break down so easily. It's not so easy to eat. This is a tough meal, So, yeah, so the government got it half right to us, right? The other thing, chemtrails, guys, they exist. Look them up. No big deal. They exist. Everybody said it was a conspiracy theory. Then the United States came out and said, well, we're doing a geoengineering program, keeping the Earth cooler. Well, that's semi-true. The truth came out last night in the intel world that the reason we have chemtrails is not to keep the world cooler, although that is a side effect of what they're doing. But the truth is, they're blocking the radiation that's coming in from other forces besides our own sun, which is causing our sun to act up. So, connect the dots on that as well. Again, look this stuff up. Look it all up. You're going to find it. It's all there. It's just not something you see on the mainstream news media, and it's just not something you're going to hear a whole lot about. It's just for those few of us who want to know. It's just for the few of us who will dig deep, who will do the deep dive, as you hear some people start to say the analogy these days of what is a deep dive. It is the essence of when a person digs deep to the point to where they want to find out the truth. They get down to it. As Scully and Mulder, we're always saying the truth is out there. It sure is. I agree 100%. All right, so let's get to my commentary, guys. With all the information that I've given you, please look it up. Please do your own homework. Please plan accordingly to what you want to do. Okay? Dig deep into who you are. Dig deep into what you think is right, and make a plan. Okay? Even if it's no plan. If you don't want to do anything, if you want to pshaw this away, if you want to, this ain't no big deal, good. Okay. At least you listened to it and you heard it. And those of you who make a plan and do something effective about it, good. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you made the decision. Those of us, I'm telling you, so much in life. Those of us who prepare, who overkill what can happen and plan and prepare for it, are going to be better prepared when stuff does happen. And if it doesn't get as severe as you plan for, you'll be well off. As to the point of not preparing at all and getting caught off guard. So, I've known about the food shortages at least for, I would like to say at least 2 or 3 years. And I've been telling the close people around me to the point of where they're rolling their eyes. Literally, guys and gals. They are rolling their eyes while I'm telling them 2 years ago, food shortages are coming. Be prepared. I can't stress that enough. How they were rolling their eyes at me, and I said, I know I sound like a crazy man. I know I sound like somebody who's off in another world. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. But if that doesn't change what's happening, guys. So, go into meditation, go into prayer, fall back on your faith. Do me a favor. Get deep down inside with who you are. Reach deep, guys. Reach real deep. And ask. Ask for that knowledge. Pray for that knowledge about what I'm telling you. Ask if what I'm telling you is correct. Pray about what I'm telling you. Is it truth or is it a lie? Ask yourself. Ask what you believe in. Should you listen to this or not? Okay? It's important. It's real important, I think, in my opinion. Other than that, I think the food shortages are here, and we're just going to see the impact start. As food shortages as the food starts to become shorter and shorter and shorter supply, the price of food here in the United States is going to go up, up, and up, along with the gas prices. As the food supply goes down, or you're going to see the price of gas go up, up, and up. If you haven't started to see it already, we're going to break records, guys, in gas prices. We're going to break records, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say. Get ready for that. It's coming. I'd like some feedback, guys. I haven't heard much over you guys. No questions have come out about anything I said. If you're just an observer and just observing, that's fine. Any questions you got, please feel free to hit me up. I'm watching and I'm looking at. Some people are asking me where did I get my information from. You know what? As a good reporter does, sometimes my sources are not going to be revealed, and I choose to be that way about it. And you can like it or you can butt a stump. That's up to you. But that is what it is. No bones about it. No disclosure. My sources are my sources, and that's that. Okay? Just want to bring that out because people have have asked where are you getting this information, and I'm not going to respond. Sorry, but any other questions about what I think or about the intel that I'll talk to you about it. I'll discuss it with you. I really will. I'd like to hear if this news is or this stuff is helpful or not for a thought process or preparation or anything. It'd be nice to hear something. Like I said, anybody who knows me personally has known that I've been talking about this for over 25 years. Over 25 years. I have been talking about this. These events that are here now, I was talking about them 25 years ago. Anybody who knows me personally knows that's a fact. That is the truth. All right, guys. Well, I'd love to hear from you, like I said. But in closing, I want to tell you guys, I love you. I think the world is a great place. I know the world's not going to go to a mass extinction event. I know this for a fact, guys. But now I'm telling you, is it going to be rough? Heck yes, it's about to get really rough. You couldn't expect the food to be endless forever. You couldn't expect for us to stay healthy forever. You could not expect for plagues not to hit us. You couldn't expect for asteroids and other things and meteor storms to hit us either. You could not expect that never to happen. We have got craters all over our planet, underneath the oceans and on the Earth surface. We have had plagues hit us here recently to show us that's exactly right. We are not plague-free. Also, we have in the history food shortages and famines that have happened. We are not famine-free. None of this stuff is promised tomorrow. Remember that. Okay? That's it for my commentary, guys. It's 33 minutes after. I was thinking this was going to be a lot longer. Thank goodness it wasn't. If you have survived it for this long, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe to the video, please. And hopefully in the near future, you'll get some video footage from me. But for right now, we're going to keep that shut down. But for right now, I don't want any monetization. I really don't want a fan base or popularity. I just would like the likes and subscribes just so people can get the information that I'm hearing from me to you. All right? Take care. God bless you. Or whatever you believe in. You're good for that. Please pray, meditate, and dig into your faith about what I'm saying. Take care. Be safe. Stay well. Chieftain News out.